Imagine this. You're starving. You haven't eaten in 2 days. There's a bush in front of you with plump juicy berries. They look delicious, but one mouthful could kill you. How do you know which ones are safe? How did our ancestors, with no science, no microscopes, and no Google, figure out what to eat without accidentally wiping out their entire tribe? This is the story of how early humans cracked the code of the plant kingdom, a journey of curiosity, danger, and incredible ingenuity that shaped our very existence. The first answer is perhaps the most terrifying one: trial and error. But not the kind you're thinking of. Early humans were astute observers. They watched animals. If a monkey ate a certain fruit and fell asleep, they'd remember the fruit. But this method had a fatal flaw. What if the animal died? You'd learn, but someone else had to pay the price. So they developed something called the universal edibility test. It's a step-by-step process still taught to survivalists today. First, you separate the plant into its parts: roots, leaves, stems, berries. You smell it. A strong, bitter almond smell often means cyanide. Then, you touch it to your skin. Any burning or itching: poison. Next, you hold it to your lips. No reaction. Good. You place it on your tongue for 15 minutes. Still okay. You swallow a tiny amount. Then you wait, for 8 long hours. If you're still alive, the plant might be safe. But this process took days. One wrong move meant death. So early humans invented a more powerful tool: language. Stories passed down through generations became a survival manual. Don't eat the red berries with the shiny leaves. Your grandmother ate those and never woke up. This was the birth of traditional ecological knowledge. And then came a secret weapon: fire. Cooking wasn't just about taste. Heat breaks down many plant toxins. Cassava, for example, is deadly raw, but harmless when cooked. Early humans discovered this by accident. Perhaps a root fell into a fire, and someone hungry ate it. They survived, and suddenly, a poison source became food. But they weren't just surviving, they were experimenting. There's evidence that ancient people licked stones that had touched certain plants. Why? To see if the stone was safe. They were testing the plant's residue indirectly. They developed primitive detoxification methods. They would crush plants, wash them in rivers, and leach out the toxins. This process of discovery was slow. It took thousands of years. Our ancestors made mistakes. They died, but they also adapted. Human cultures that successfully navigated this botanical minefield thrived. Those that didn't vanished. Yet here's a twist. Why did some plants become delicious staples while others remained deadly? It comes down to a microscopic battle. Plants can't run, so they fight back with chemicals, poisons. But over time, the human body evolved. We developed stronger livers that could process certain toxins. We even developed a taste for some poisons. Coffee, tea, chocolate, all contain chemicals meant to deter insects. We consumed them in small enough doses that they gave us a buzz instead of killing us. Today, we have science. We know that a potato's green spots contain solanine, a toxic compound. We know to never eat rhubarb leaves. But this knowledge was hard-won. Every single plant in your supermarket had a dark history. The wheat in your bread is the descendant of a wild grass that was once incredibly difficult to eat. So the next time you bite into an apple, remember, you are the product of 100,000 years of brave, curious, and sometimes unlucky experimenters. They didn't have a guidebook. They had their senses, their memories, and above all, their will to survive. And their success is the only reason you get to eat lunch today.